everybody, today we're going to talk about what could possibly be a life-changing discussion, and that is dreadlocks. And should you get them, that's up to you. But once you've got them, how long should you let them grow? Now, I've had my dreadlocks nearly 10 years now, and in 10 years I've cut about that much off. And the only reason I cut that off was that's where I started my dreadlocks, and it was really ragged at the end, and everything I tried I couldn't do anything with that little bit of hair, mainly because when I started my dreadlocks off I made the fatal mistake of using wax. Never ever use wax. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of having long dreadlocks. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to remove my tam, and I'm going to show you how long my dreads are. There you go. Now every bit of the hair you see, apart from that little bit, is all mine. So I shall turn round and let you see how far down my back my hair goes. As you can see, it goes down below my bum, so my hair is definitely quite long. There's definitely pros and cons in having dreadlocks. I will put my teeth back in. Definitely pros and cons with having long dreadlocks. And I'm going to start off with a pro, and that pro is they look cool. Everybody thinks dreadlocks, especially long dreadlocks, look cool. I never ever get anybody coming up with eh. I only ever get compliments about my dreadlocks. Disadvantage, washing and drying. Now in the summer it's not too bad. I can wash my hair in the morning, and by the late afternoon my hair's dry and everything's hunky-dory. In the winter, like it is now, it's January now, in the winter, different tale altogether. If I wash my hair at 9 o'clock in the morning, unless I work really hard to get it dry with a hairdryer, it can still be slightly damp when I go to bed. You tend to spend the first couple of hours once you've washed your hair, unless you've got a long time to stand there with a hairdryer drying your hair with a wet back. So that's definitely a con. Right, another pro. Okay. Everybody thinks dreadlocks look cool. Nobody ever goes, eh. Everybody likes them. Have I said that already? I must have said that already. Okay. Another con. The weather. When it's hot, dreadlocks on your head make you sweat. That's one of the reasons why I've shaved the hair at the side, just to make them that little bit cooler, and it doesn't look that much different to having a full head of dreadlocks. In the winter they definitely keep your head warm, so that's a pro really. When it's raining, you need to keep your head under cover, keep your head dry, because once it starts raining and your dreadlocks get wet, once again they stay wet for a long time, especially in the winter. Your hair gets wet and you've got a wet scalp and a wet back all the time, unless you keep your hair covered. Driving. When it comes to driving, they can be uncomfortable, and you sit there in your driver's seat or in the passenger seat and all that hair's behind you. It feels like you've got knotted rope down your back sometimes, and it can feel quite uncomfortable. And if you pull your hair out to the side, once again that can be uncomfortable. If I'm doing a long drive, I'll put my tam on like I had when I started this video. Sometimes as well, if your hair's round to the side, it can get in the way when you're trying to see what's coming. You know, you're to road junction or whatever, they can get in your way and obscure your vision. So they can be a pain when driving. Okay, let's have another pro. They look cool. Dreadlocks look cool. Everybody likes dreadlocks. Never said that. Okay. I've possibly said that. Well, let's have another one then. Okay, they make you stand out in a crowd and everybody notices you because dreadlocks look cool. I think I've been down that road already. Another con then. Oh dear me, we've got loads and loads of cons. At night, in bed, they can be an absolute pain in the butt. Once again, I will either tie them back or I will put a tam on. Shaving the sides of my head has made bedtime a lot more comfortable. So that is one thing that you can do, just to make life a little bit better in bed. I've learned how to tuck my hair in at the top of the pillow so I'm not laid on it and it's not on my back and itching and things like that. One of the things, especially in the summer, is one of the little dreads will start tickling you somewhere and you're going, ooh, like this, is that a spider or is that something crawling on me? Nah, it's just a dreadlock. So, you know, I've got now, so I don't care. And then I've looked down and there's been a spider on me. Okay, a pro. Guess what? People like dreadlocks. They think they're cool. I think I'm struggling a little bit on the pros. A con. They can, if your hair's not strong and your scalp's not in a good condition, pull on your scalp. Now, mine, as you've seen, are very long, but I have a good scalp and I've got nice thick hair, so it's not a problem for me. The only time I feel the weight is when I wash my hair and my dreads are wet, then I can feel them pulling on my scalp. But other than that, it doesn't bother me at all. Even when you consider my age, what am I now? Mid-20s. I can get away with having long dreads. They're not pulling on my scalp and it doesn't cause me a problem. Shall we try another pro? Other than they look cool, dreadlocks are cool, but you get all sorts of weirdos. You know, you've got dreadlocks, you must be a vegetarian, a vegan, you must smoke weed, you must supply weed, and all other things that are associated with dreadlocks. None of the above. I just think they're cool. Okay, I've got another con. When you're doing your housework, you know, you're hoovering up, unless you tie them back or wear a tam, they're hanging in front of your face. You're hoovering, they're hanging down. You're doing the dishes, they're going in the dishwater if you're not careful. You're cooking, you're likely to set your head on fire, because I've got a gas ring. And sometimes I'm like, oh, hang on a minute, let me tie my hair back, otherwise I'm going to end up in a ball of flames running around the house like a loony going, ah! So, yeah, they can be an absolute pain when it comes to doing housework. Even just things like putting your shoes on and tying your shoelaces bent forward and hanging down like this, and you're trying to do what you're doing. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look for another pro. Another con. One of the cons is you are very conscious of where you are, as in somewhere that's really dusty, somewhere that's really, really dirty. You know, if you're, say, on a beach and it's really windy, you're not so keen on going on because you don't want all that sand and grit in your hair. If you're in an environment where there's a lot of smells and things like that, you're very, very conscious of this because you don't want all that smell and that dirt and everything in your hair. So that is definitely a con. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to keep my dreads growing or keep them at this length, or am I going to cut them? No, I'm going to keep them and I'm going to let them grow even longer. How long is too long? I don't know. But, yeah, it'd break my heart to cut them. I'd be like this with a pair of scissors. I'd probably end up slitting my wrists or something. So, no, I'm not going to cut my hair. I'm just going to let it grow until, I don't know, until I just can't take it anymore. Until the cons outweigh the pros. And the best pro about dreadlocks is they're cool and they look cool. You know, I can never get, you know, when you go in the supermarket, I can never get over looking at these cameras that see you walking up and down the supermarket and looking at myself from behind and thinking, God, those dreads look really, really cool. That's because they look really, really cool. So anyway, that's me and that's my outlook on dreadlocks and getting them cut and should you get them and pros and cons and things like that. I think they're great. I think, guess what, they look cool. So, if you found this video entertaining, interesting, informative, anything like that, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, that's down there. Please share it, that's down there. And hopefully, I will see you in the next video. Hasta pronto. I'm learning Spanish. See you later, everybody. Bye.